and thank you for joining me on this journey of understanding our energy centers and how they function, how they present themselves in the world, and how we can fix it. So it's more than just knowing, like, yeah, that's an issue I have. I've had it for a while. I take you a step further and I help you heal it and balance it and understand it. Also, a little bit of information about things that aren't taught to us when we're younger, and that's okay. You know, we all were raised by people that were doing their best, and when we become adults and we start to find out our limitations and we start to have things that keep setting us back and we don't understand why, this is a great way to not have that guilt and that fear surrounding our limitations. So today is our heart, and it is green. And the best way to remember, because usually people think of a heart as pink or red or, Valentine's Day colors, but in all reality, it's green. Green is growth, green is life, green is everything. It's thriving. And so green is a great way to not only enhance our spirits again with the outdoor green, the leaves, the grass that we see thriving. It connects us and it helps us see that there's more. And our hearts, when they become hardened, they need to feel like they're flourishing, like they're growing, like it's bigger, right? So our heart, when we close it off and we protect it, when we are blocked, that's when we struggle with love for ourselves and love for others and compassion. And this is where you start to, your personality will present itself in a very jealous, insecure, hardened, bitter, depressed state. And people will see you as hardened. And really, it's just protecting our hearts. And if we started to do this earlier in life, if we started to protect ourselves from pain, as we get older, we have to retrain ourselves to trust, to believe in others that they won't hurt us. And when we are hardened, we're not protecting ourselves, we're hurting ourselves. All of a sudden, we feel lonely and disconnected, and we don't have compassion for others, but that's because we don't have it for ourselves. When we don't give ourselves grace, when we make a mistake, when we're struggling, when we're so angry with ourselves, that presents itself in the outside world. We start to feel resentment, judgment, oh, why do they have what I have, what I don't have? Sorry. And we divide ourselves from that person, and we just start to close ourselves in more and more and more and more, to the point of loneliness, to where we want to give up. No one cares anyway. And really, it's just because we've hardened ourselves that we can't feel them, and we can't give them our love and compassion either, because we're protecting it. And so this singing bowl is going to allow us to not only soften but heal our heart. And our heart is right smack in the middle of our upper energy centers and our lower energy centers. So when one is out of whack, this will allow them to connect, and this heart will beat that energy through and help heal positivity throughout the different energy centers, the different parts of us that are blocked. And I did realize I misspoke on the solar plexus chakra. That's actually from 14 to 21 years of age when that is developed. And the heart is developed between 21 and 28. So that's often the first heartbreak when we start to say, oh, I'm never going to love again, forget that, because that one true love goes away and you believe it's never going to happen again. And then that's when you go into the real world, into your adult life, and you start to connect with people outside of your family. Because when you're younger, you're around them unconditionally, no matter what. And sometimes it's not very healthy. And so you start to expect other transactions and interactions and relationships to be very similar. And so when our heart is guarded and closed up, we're not healing other aspects of ourselves, nor are we getting that fulfillment out of life, that connection with it. Because thinking, abundant thoughts, grateful thoughts is one thing, but feeling them is entirely different. So you want to feel it and think it simultaneously. And this exercise you can do when you start to feel lonely. Start to think of things that make you happy. It could be a puppy, it could be some recognition, someone said something kind, and how that made you feel. And you kind of just go back and forth with it. That way you can open up your heart without having that fear of rejection, or they're not going to appreciate me. And you start having all these crazy thoughts that just take away from that opening up of the heart. Also, touch your heart. Bring the energy there. If you start to feel overwhelmed and anxious, just start tapping. I do this all the time. If I start to feel like I'm protecting myself from people, I'm an empath and I pick up on their energy and I feel them. And if I start to feel like I'm guarding myself and, what is this person trigger? My heart's just beating right now. It's like, yes, what do you need? What do you want? It just takes those blockages away and it brings that stagnant energy up to the surface, and then it releases it. So I'm going to play my bowl here, and it is tuned to F, and it is going to open up our love for ourselves, for others, compassion, and we need that right now, you guys. Rather than putting blame on others for being different or them not understanding, it's not our job. We need to lead by example. If we lead with love, then it'll be contagious and others will feel accepted. They will feel more gentler to themselves and others, and then so on and so forth. This is something we all need to be mindful of, because our heart is what keeps our body going, what pumps that blood throughout, okay? And so when you're feeling cold and you're feeling blocked, you can re-listen to this video. If you want a little more, I have an extended version as well that's only $10, and you can listen to it as many times as you want. You can share it with others, or you can just listen to this one that has enough information just to get you through. It's like basics. Okay, so we're gonna start our breath work, our octagon, 8 deep breaths, and then we're gonna play. And you're just going to allow your soul to connect with the vibrations that are sent your way to just soothe, balance, and heal, okay? So let's start with our breaths. 1. You breathe out, let it all go. Breathe in. I want those breaths to come all the way down to your lower spine, okay? I want it to pass the heart and go down. Last one. Here we go. Isn't that great? I cannot get enough. I hope this was helpful. Again, reach out if you want the extended version. If you just thoroughly enjoyed this, leave me a comment, hit the notification bell thing, subscribe, all of that good stuff. This is how I connect with you. But if you don't connect back, then I wonder where it landed. So I know this is all useful stuff, but it definitely helps me when you stay in communication with me through messages and likes and shares and all that good stuff. So I hope this is helpful. Have a wonderful day.